Auburn goes in to Gaylord Memorial Stadium, Norman, Oklahoma. The Sooners, the hottest team in college football right now. Jackson Arnold, homecoming. What's this game going to be? Well, I'm going to try and tell you. Like I said, Jackson Arnold coming home. That's the biggest storyline here. Five-star guy didn't work out at Oklahoma last year. What's he going to be at Auburn? Well, we've gotten a little taste. And that taste so far has been running the football, but he's going to have to pass. This Oklahoma team is really, really good. Jeremiah Cobb is going to have to back Jackson Arnold up in the run game. And this is something that I really believe in. And if you've watched the show a few times, you know that I say this a lot. You have to have a running game that can take the pressure off a quarterback, especially when it gets to points where it's 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 8. You got to be able to run the football to get it to 3rd and short. If you're relying on quarterbacks to make plays on every 3rd and long, you're not going to win football games. With that being said, I've talked about this receiving core a million times. Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton can make plays. You're going to need them to out athlete people. And listen, you're going to get the highest praise from me about Oklahoma's defense and their scheme and what Brent Venables does there. But there's some people who aren't human, and Cam Coleman is not human. He is an alien. And he's going to make plays against even the best players in any secondary. You're going to need him to go up and make some plays here that Jackson Arnold just tosses him the ball and says, go make a play for us. The O line needs to play well against Oklahoma's defensive line. There's talent all over this defensive line for Oklahoma. In the pass, especially passers, they're really good against the run, but this pass rush is nasty. Between Marvin Jones Jr., R. Mason Thomas, and Taylor Wine, I mean, they're finding R. Mason Thomas and Marvin Jones were the original starters this year, but they are having to find a way to get Taylor Wine on the field at all times. They're starting him, and he's a backup edge guy. They're running packages with three edge rushers just to get the guy on the field. And Taylor's a guy that I know, and I'm not just hyping him up like this because I know him. The dude's a phenomenal football player, and they're having to find ways to get him on the field. The buzz around him during camp was very, very real, and Oklahoma and the rest of the nation are starting to see that. What's this Auburn offensive line going to do? They ran the ball well. They're able to lean on some of these teams like Baylor because Baylor doesn't have a very strong defensive line. You're not just going to be able to lean on Oklahoma. Let's shift over to the other side of the ball. Actually, let's stay here for a second. I missed something. Can Oklahoma's secondary constrict what Jackson Arnold, kind of what they did to Bryce Underwood? And the way I use the word constrict is, just at certain points of the game, just take away the certain part of the field, like the deep ball. On 3rd and long, let's take away the intermediate pass, constrict the field to the point where we're making him take that check down and we're making him take a shot because the middle of the field is not going to be there on 3rd and 11, if that makes sense. Okay, now let's flip to the other side of the ball. John Mateer, who I think right now, if I had to guess, would be my Heisman pick as of right now. Can Keldrick Falk and Kieran Crawford contain him? I haven't been blown away by this pass rush so far. I think they should be a lot better, especially Keldrick Falk. I had a lot. Wow, Acorn just fell down. Sorry. I had a lot of hype that I built up for Keldrick Falk, and he really hasn't lived up to it yet this year. This is the game to do it. Get after John Mateer because once he gets outside of the tackle box, all hell breaks loose for your defense. Good luck because that's already a secondary who's been very hot and cold. They're very talented, but they're very young. And we saw the highs and lows against Baylor. There are plays to be made against that secondary, but that secondary is so talented that they will make plays. Keep John Mateer in the pocket. If he's not in the pocket, you're not going to win this football game. Auburn running the football, or excuse me, Oklahoma running the football. Jaden Ott has been banged up. So they haven't really used him, obviously. That's just complete logic. What about Tory Baylock? Excuse me, Tory Blaylock. What is he going to be? He's been a guy who's been a little inconsistent this year, has some good totals against some relatively bad, I'm not going to say bad, just little dog teams. Are him and Jane not going to come through and ball out? Because John Mateer's probably going to need it. John Mateer can't be the sole person running the football. Well, let's get into the spreads here. Oklahoma's favored -6.5 at home. Money line is -250 for Oklahoma, +202 for Auburn, and the over/under is 46.5. Who do I got to win this game? It's my second time picking against Auburn. I got Oklahoma. I think they win this game handedly, but I think it's pretty contested. I don't think it's a blowout, but I don't think it's a nail biter necessarily. I really do think John Mateer just makes a few more plays. And I think Auburn kind of gets a wake-up call with how much they've been relying on this run game, especially quarterback run game. I think Oklahoma takes it away a little more than the teams they've been playing have been able to. So give me Oklahoma to actually cover the spread and Oklahoma to win at home against their former five-star guy and former what we thought to be their franchise program quarterback in Jackson Arnold.